Here we are. Here we are. I forgot I don't have to do the intro anymore. So I've got the tripod. It's stable now. Nothing will be falling over. So let's just get into it. This video is meant to shame me a little bit, okay? I let things get out of control. Like a bit of an intro. I buy classics because they're cheap, so I have a lot of them, but that's not really a problem because I'm never going to read them at the rate that I'm going to purchase them. I just purchased them because I will be interested in them. I don't necessarily intend to read them right away. So accumulating classics is not that big of a problem. Accumulating other stuff is what I am here to shame myself for, okay? During the end of the year, and especially in 2026, because I just had the absolute worst time this year, I've been ordering way more books that I've been reading. We will get into the slump bit at the end of the video, but this is to shame myself a little bit and give myself the encouragement to read at least some of these books, okay? So while I will not be bullied into reading the classics right away because I have to be really in the mood for them in order to read them, I am open to being bullied about the rest of them because I need to get them get them read, okay? I have like a small section in the other room that serves as a TBR, and it's a little embarrassing that there's no more room left. So I've gathered everything, including the classics. The one thing that is exempt from this video are the Star Wars novels, because I sort of view them as like an omnipresent TBR. Like, yes, I will obviously, of course, get to them, and I'm always sort of thinking about them. So I removed them from this TBR, and reason number 2 is this is so tightly fitted together on the shelf right now that I do not intend to remove them. Enough yapping. I just wanted to give you the context. Let's get into it, and let's get embarrassed about this. Here we are. Here we are. I forgot I don't have to do the intro anymore. So I've got the tripod. It's stable now. Nothing will be falling over. So let's just get into it. This video is meant to shame me a little bit, okay? I let things get out of control. Like a bit of an intro. I buy classics because they're cheap, so I have a lot of them, but that's not really a problem because I'm never going to read them at the rate that I'm going to purchase them. I just purchased them because I will be interested in them. I don't necessarily intend to read them right away. So accumulating classics is not that big of a problem. Accumulating other stuff is what I am here to shame myself for, okay? During the end of the year, and especially in 2026, because I just had the absolute worst time this year, I've been ordering way more books that I've been reading. We will get into the slump bit at the end of the video, but this is to shame myself a little bit and give myself the encouragement to read at least some of these books, okay? So while I will not be bullied into reading the classics right away because I have to be really in the mood for them in order to read them, I am open to being bullied about the rest of them because I need to get them read, okay? I have like a small section in the other room that serves as a TBR, and it's a little embarrassing that there's no more room left. So I've gathered everything, including the classics. The one thing that is exempt from this video are the Star Wars novels, because I sort of view them as like an omnipresent TBR. Like, yes, I will obviously, of course, get to them, and I'm always sort of thinking about them. So I removed them from this TBR, and reason number 2 is this is so tightly fitted together on the shelf right now that I do not intend to remove them. Enough yapping. I just wanted to give you the context. Let's get into it, and let's get embarrassed about this. Now, because I've not read any of these, this video is not necessarily supposed to be long. I will just tell you like why I got them, why I haven't read them yet, that kind of context stuff, you know, because there's nothing else I can talk about in terms of these books. Okay, this is the last Charlotte Bronte that I have, this really beaten up penguin of the Tales of Mrlja. This is technically not really Charlotte Bronte. It's not a novel. It's just a collection of the tales that her and Branwell came up with when they were children. This is the last Bronte that I haven't read. I even like divided it into story segments. The reason I haven't read this is because the writing style just isn't speaking to me. I think I read like a little bit of it, and immediately put it down. So that's the reason why I haven't read this yet. But I do want to, because I'm just very interested in what young Charlotte was up to since I finished all her novels. And that's a depressive thought in and of itself. So this is the first one. We will get to it, but I'm not really rushing to do so. Another embarrassing one is The Three Musketeers. Okay. I famously hated and DNF'd Count of Monte Cristo. So I bought this because I was watching the series at the time, like the BBC Musketeers. I know that has nothing to do with this book. But I was really in the mood, so I was like, let's give it another shot. This is supposed to be way more like exciting and faster paced, and everyone loves Three Musketeers who read it as a child. So I was like, let's pick it up. I have not picked it up yet, okay? Because of how much I hated my experience and my time reading Count of Monte Cristo, I'm hesitating with this one. It's not as thick, obviously, but also the font isn't the largest thing in existence. I will get to it though. Hopefully. Not, I don't know when, but again, since these are classics, I'm not necessarily being as strict with when I'm supposed to get to these. Let's work through the rest of the classics from this specific shelf before they updated the Wordsworth editions. I have some newer Wordsworth editions. We will get to them in a little bit, okay? We have Rob Roy by Sir Walter Scott. I wanted another book by him when I went out to buy this. But that one wasn't available, so I think I wanted the famous one, like not Ivanhoe. No, not the other one. Either way, Rob Roy. I want to read this, but at the same time, again, as with many classics, I'm not sure if I have the mental strength right now to get through this slang. So we're getting through the classics first, because again, the problem with a lot of these is that I do not have the patience and the energy to go through these right now. It's not necessarily that they will be a slog to get through. I know that better than anyone. Like Lemmy's last year, I loved so much the first half, and it wasn't a slog at all. But it's a higher risk of it being a slog than it is with modern books. Okay, the next one that I got off Vinted, and my god, this cover is Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. This actually has like the illustrations, I think, and images, which I cannot seem to find right now. Yeah, it has some stuff like that. I read this as a child. I vaguely remember it, which is why I have it here. I have no reason to read this right now. I got it off Vinted because, again, Vinted was my my obsession when I was feeling down, because everything is so cheap that you feel like you have unlimited money, if that makes any sense, because such a small amount is getting taken from you and you constantly have stuff arriving that it feels like it's almost free. It's just an embarrassing logic, but it worked. It worked. I got so much stuff off Vinted that I didn't necessarily even want to read at the time. I just wanted the feeling of something arriving. We have Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. The only reason that I haven't read this is the only Mark Twain in my house that I haven't read, is because of the slang. Again, I can't get through it right now. This one I got in the autumn. It's the only philosophy that I haven't read, and that is just Plato. I think it's everything by him. It's Symposium and the Death of Socrates. I think there's even more than that. I think there's Symposium, Euthyphro, Apology, Crito, and Phaedo. It's all of these, and it's very thin. I will get there. Philosophy is just something that I need to be in a very specific mood to reach for, which I think is actually kind of relatable. Then the Brontes, okay? We have Agnes Grey. I did not intend to pick up a single Anne Bronte after Tenant of Wildfell Hall. I got rid of that book and donated it to the library. But I heard that this is actually quite underrated and better than people think it is. Also, again, off Vinted. You're going to be seeing a pattern. Then the new classic editions. We have The Professor by Charlotte Bronte. I lied. This is the last Charlotte Bronte that I haven't read, like the proper Charlotte Bronte, not like just her childhood scribblings. I will actually get to this, but I know that it's bad. I know there's a reason why no one wanted to publish it. So the books are going to fall over. That is irrelevant. And then the last one that I got, I think that same time, is The Railway Children. I love this edition too. It's actually genuinely so pretty. This is super short, like a teeny tiny little children's book, but I think I saw some quotes online about it. That's why I was interested in it. And I read The Secret Garden last year. I might have heard of this in a similar context, but I don't know when I will get to these. I have no idea. Charlotte Bronte is way more likely to be read than anything I've spoken of thus far. Another two books that I bought just because I wanted to buy something, okay, and they were extremely cheap. We have The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. I love these new editions. The fact that they cost the same and they're even floppier. Beautiful, stunning. I'm a big fan of these editions. That is not why we're here. Okay, The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. I'd wanted to read The Woman in White during the autumn, but then I didn't, so I postponed it until next year. We will get to The Woman in White. But I got this because I was like, it's a very old mystery. That could be very bad. That could probably be very bad. Mystery before mystery was a thing, but we can still give it a shot. Then we have something that's even funnier to me. I was laughing at myself when I was bringing this to the register. Okay, we have Don Quixote. Don Quixote by Cervantes. Okay, this lovely, thick, pinky color. It's actually beautiful. I read this in high school because, again, I went to the most difficult language school in the country, most difficult school, period. But we had a very strong, like, literature program, so I read Don Quixote. I am pretty certain we didn't read the entire thing. We might have read an abridged version, but I have read this before. Problem is, I've blocked it out. And I'd like to give it a shot, now that I have gained sentience again and freedom from that place. I would like to try it out again, but I was chuckling at myself when I was bringing this to the register because, like, really, you're going to be going home with Don Quixote? That's just hilarious. I vividly remember writing essays about this. So, The Woman in White. Also vintage. I started reading it. There's like one tab in there. I was going to annotate this. I was going to read the Gothic classic in October, and I just didn't. But I watched the series, and now it's been a while since I watched the series. So I think this autumn I might actually give it a go. Do let me know if you've read Wilkie Collins, which of the two I should read first. Because, again, I've watched the series for Women in White, but I don't know what The Moonstone is about. I have read a short story by Wilkie Collins, so I do know that I like his style, but we'll see about the rest of this. I'm going to be messing them up on the floor. I just know it. The one, the only Hunchback of Notre Dame, okay? Or Notre Dame of Paris. I can't say it like that. Notre Dame of Paris. I can't switch my language mid-sentence. It's strange to me. Again, deceptively thin. Like, it is a decent 500 pages. It's just very, very thin. You put it next to Lemmy's and it looks like it's like 100 pages max. That, I've heard, is even more nauseating with its long descriptions and tangents than Lemmy's is. But it is his earlier work, so the core of the story, if you move past or skip the unreadable stuff, is supposed to suit me way better than his later stuff, because, again, I hated the second half of Lemmy's. Then, the next one that we have to talk about, which is also kind of funny, is Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. Okay, this is hilarious because Demian was my least favorite book, or one of my least favorite books the year that I read it. I think it was like the first book that I read that year. I really, really did not like that. But this is supposed to be better. Also, look at the cover. I bought this when I went on like a shopping trip to Graz, Austria. I loved the books there because they were super cheap and really, really pretty. So I will be giving it a shot, and it is short, which is always a positive. On a similar note, and I have a copy of this, the copy is just unreadable, so I wanted to get a new one. The Blue Castle by Ellen Montgomery. Again, look at how pretty these are. Like, this is insane to me. This is a readable copy, okay? This is a stunning copy, and I will actually read this one, unlike the other one. That's a very large format, and I don't want to read that. Okay. Blue Castle by Ellen Montgomery. I've wanted to read this for years, but I couldn't justify it to myself to get a new copy of the book, considering that I had it. But this was so pretty and so cheap, and I was on a shopping trip. I could not leave without it. So this will be getting read, hopefully actually in the spring and the summer, because Ellen Montgomery, okay, she lives in the spring and summer, like in the space between spring and summer. Okay, my books are falling over. Let's two more classics, I think, and then we can move on to the other stuff that I'm here to actually shame myself about. This one I bought recently, not for the reason that you might think, okay? It's this small book. It's very pretty. That's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and Other Tales. I actually bought it because of the other tales. I read Matilda last year or the year before that. I read Matilda, and I quite liked Mary Shelley in a small burst, so to speak. I couldn't get through Frankenstein again. I tried like 3 times. I will perhaps one day, but I liked her in Matilda, so I wanted to try out her other short stories, short novellas, what have you. So I got this specifically for the and other tales, not actually for Frankenstein. Then this one that my mother bought, but obviously it's on my TBR as well because it just is. Okay, we have Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu. I read Sheridan Le Fanu also. His Green Tea is part of the Little Classics collection, so I read that. It was fine. It wasn't the best thing ever, but I think his style was decent. So we have this lovely short copy of Carmilla. Ideally, I would read both that and the other Gothic stuff in autumn, but why limit yourself to a season when you never actually get to them in that season? And then the last one, a book that I never intended to read, but I was convinced by this one specific person online, I don't even remember who, saying that it was such an atmospheric book for winter, that she felt cold while reading it, that I was like, I will get it. It was also unvinted again for a very cheap price. So I got it, and I was going to read it during the winter. It is not the winter anymore, okay, obviously. And that is Dr. Zhivago by Boris Pasternak. It's the pretty edition, okay? The really pretty Russian classics. I don't read, as I've said before, Slavic languages in English translation because I speak a Slavic language. It's way more, it's closer to the original if I read them in my own translation, but this was cheap and I'm not really going to insist on getting this book in my own translation because I don't even know if I can find it. And I wouldn't get this from the library because I feel like it's going to take me ages to read this. I don't even think I'd like this based on what it's about. But again, she or he, whoever I saw speaking on it, said it was so suited to the winter time that that they were recommending it for that season. And we'll see when I read this. Hopefully when it's cold. Okay. The last classics are my two last copies of Gogol in my own translation, not in English. So we have Taras Bulba, we have that one, and we have Sorochinsky Siam, and I have Dead Souls by Gogol, which is on my nightstand. I forgot about it. There's another book on the nightstand. Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco, but I cannot talk about that again. Okay, just consider it in this category. I haven't read that either. But these are my last Gogols alongside Dead Souls. I don't know what I want to start with, but Gogol, again, as much as I love him so much, I just have to be in the mood for it, because when I'm not in the mood for it, I find him so irritating. But when I am in the mood for him, my God, does he hit. I just find him so funny while being deep at the same time. So basically, for all the classics, the deal is this: I have to be in the mood. I have to be in the mood, or I have to specifically have a goal that I'm forcing myself to achieve, like Lemmy's last summer, that I do want to work towards. So we'll see what I do this year. We'll see what I do this year. I want to go through some of these, but also, if you ask me right now, I don't think I'm in the mood for any of them, except maybe The Professor by Charlotte Bronte, simply because I think I will like anything Charlotte Bronte has ever penned. So that might be actually the next classic that I read, but we'll see. We've worked our way up to the books that are actually shameful, and honestly, looking at them, not that bad. Because when you, again, remove the classics from the equation, which are books that I have no intention of reading quickly and immediately, it's not that many. And now I'm a little bit less embarrassed. I feel like I'm an idiot for making this video because now it's not that many. Actually, okay, we're not considering the books that I'm currently reading because that's embarrassing. I'm reading like 8 or 9 books at the moment, but this isn't that many. It's like maybe 10 books that are actually unread that aren't classics. Some of them are like modern classics. For example, my last Ray Bradbury, which is Let's All Kill Constance, this small yellowed book that I also got from, you know what, Vinted. Okay, I want to read this. This is the last Ray Bradbury I have that I haven't read, so I want to check it out. I know absolutely nothing about it, which is so fun. We have Perfume by Patrick Suskind, who is he German, actually, or like Austrian, or which of the many is he? Okay, since it's Das Parfum, I think it's Switzerland. Switzerland. Interesting. He's Swiss. German-speaking Swiss. So we do have that. I bought that when I was in a mood for reading about murder, which is funny since I watch stuff related to it all the time. Like, I watch crime and mystery pretty much all the time. So the fact that I wanted to read about murder is amusing to me. You couldn't pay me right now to read about murder and watch it in the evenings. I think my mood would like be tanked. So the next sort of modern classic that I also want to read right now, that I want to read like during May, and we will see if I make room for it or if I DNF one of the many books that I'm currently reading. We have Blood in the Mist, okay, by Hope Miralles. Hope Miralles. Okay. All my languages are bouncing around in my head. Before I was so rudely interrupted. Okay. Blood in the Mist. I actually want to read this, so I will add this like to the top of my TBR. Like, I wanted to read this during spring, early summer, because again, there's nothing positive about this time of year for me. So, except maybe like it getting dark later. That's the one thing. The one thing. Okay, if it could be cold all year round, but the sun should set at like 8 in the afternoon, I would love that. But unfortunately, that is not how it works. I want to read this. That's the whole point of my rambling. Then we have this one, which is, I wanted this for a while, and again, I found it on Vinted, but I just haven't made the time to read it because, again, it's nonfiction, and that's also something that I really have to be in the mood for, to like put time into. It is Myths and Legends of the Celts by James McKillop. It's this collection. It has like photos and everything. It's about, again, you guessed it, myths and legends of the Celts. I will get to this also hopefully during the summer. It just feels like that kind of vibe. Then the last two aren't exactly classics, but they're part of the collection that I like to call my King Arthur obsession. And both of these I've started and put down because I was not in the mood for them. There is such a thing as overkill. Okay, I read so much King Arthur in 2024 that I could not read it in 2025. I was like, I've had enough of this. I like it's coming out my ears. Okay, I know all of these stories so well. So we have The Acts of King Arthur and His Noble Knights by John Steinbeck. This is this beautiful Deck of Edges copy that I bought for my last birthday. It's John Steinbeck retelling the tales of King Arthur, and I couldn't read it again because it was coming out my ears. Like, I knew them all pretty much by heart. And then we also have The Death of King Arthur. I don't even know who this is by. I think it's like something they dug up in France, I want to say. It's also like a yellowed penguin classic that I bought for like €4, also on Vinted. I started reading it and I was doing okay, but then I saw a review that said it deals practically completely with Lancelot and there's no Arthur or Merlin in it, which immediately like killed my interest. Yeah, it says 13th century version. Well, whoever the unknown author is didn't want to write about Arthur in the book called The Death of King Arthur, but we will get to it. And that is a precarious pile. Okay, let's get through the last few books. Again, you're welcome to shame me about these. Similar vein to classics, it is the Stephen Fry books. I got both of these for 14 euros on Vinted, which I thought was a great deal because both of these are unread and new, and one of these costs like 15. So we have Mythos and we have Heroes. I'm way more interested in Mythos, but I thought I'd get both. This I'm not in the mood for at all, but I do want to listen to it. Why do I need physical copies, you ask? Because I don't like listening to anything. I am used to reading being reading and listening being listening. So when I can't listen to audiobooks and pay attention to them because I don't consider that reading. So in order to listen to Stephen Fry tell me his take on Greek mythology, I need to read along while I listen, or I won't be able to pay attention to everything he's saying, if that makes any sense. Again, auditory intake of information is a skill, just like reading is a skill. So if you don't really like or enjoy or are able to process stories while listening to them without getting distracted, like I do, I need the physical copies, okay? But I do like the performance of and the voice acting element of audiobooks, which is why I only ever listen to audiobooks by like narrators that I like and want to listen to. Long story short, when I get the audiobooks for both of these books, I think I'll start going through them, but I have almost zero interest in actually reading this. I bought it specifically to listen to Stephen Fry. Was a desperate book. It was just a desperate purchase because, again, I needed something to purchase. It is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I have no interest in this. This is YA and it has romance in it. This is nothing that I'm interested in. But there's also another book that's similar to this that I got also kind of to please myself, I suppose. I wanted something to get. This was cheap, so I got it. It has good vibes, apparently, and it should be an easy read. But if you were to ask me if I wanted to read this, I'd kind of have to say no. I will, though, again, because my policy to read all the books that I purchase. So this is like a very, very random purchase when I had nothing else to give me the purchasing serotonin. The next one, that's so pretty, that I also got used, I want to say, is Toby Alone, okay? Also by a French author. I say also as if there were others. Timothy de Fombelle, French author. It kind of looks like parchment paper. It's delightful. It has illustrations. It's a children's book about nature, about a giant tree. I wanted to read it. It's actually as simple as that. I didn't get this one off Vinted. I think I got that actually on Amazon, like from a third-party seller that sells used books. Then one that, oh my god, every time I look at it, I don't want to read it, but also I know what the vision was when I bought it. The White Dragon by Anne McCaffrey. The whole point of this is that it took me so long to get into the first book, even though I hated it. Like I ended up hating it, but I kind of got into the world and I was mildly intrigued by the dragons in it. So I heard that you can read the third book without having read the second book. This is about a whole new character with a whole new dragon. So I said, what the hell? It's thick. I don't like the world building and I'm not that big of a fan of the writing. So this one makes me be annoyed with myself a little bit for getting it, but I will read it. It's dragons. I can't have a bad day with dragons, even with Anne McCaffrey. This one was a cover buy, okay? I went to the bookstore with my friend for my birthday because all my friends go to the bookstore with me for my birthday so I can pick something out and they can buy it for me. It was half off. It was half off and it was pretty, okay? Hear me out, okay? It was so pretty. I loved the vibe and it's like a mystery. I know it's a YA romance, but it's a mystery. It has a mystery in it, okay? And it has the plants. I loved the vibe of it. It is Silence and Shadow by Erin Beatty. This is a sequel. Honestly, jail. It doesn't say anywhere that it's a sequel. It does like in the inner flap, so we're being very clear. But yeah, it does say sequel in there. But it is made clear nowhere else that it's a sequel. And for once, I was like, I'll buy a book without reading into it too much. It's a sequel. I got the first book on my e-reader because I don't intend to buy it. Honestly, I wasn't even going to buy this, but it was half off and it was very pretty. The first book is not half off. I think it's like 20 euros, which I don't want to buy it, but it's so long. And again, I don't like reading long books on my e-reader. I have a quirk where I don't like to read long books on my e-reader. Doesn't matter. This is a sequel, but since I bought the sequel and I want to read it, I will have to get through the ebook. I just don't know when. I don't know how, and please don't tell me that this is a terrible book, because I have it though, and I have the sequel, so I have to actually get to the sequel. That's actually it for the pile of shame. This is what I mean. It doesn't seem that bad when you get past the classics. It's actually 10-ish. That's not touching on like the 10 books that I'm currently reading. Okay, I have been in a weird slump. Ironically, when I was at my worst, like a month ago, I read so much. I guess because of that whole syndrome of I needed it, the same reason that I read so much when I'm studying or when I'm really busy. Okay. But now I have that urge to read everything, but also nothing. Like, I keep picking up books in the hopes that they will hook me and I will read them quickly and get through them like that. And then I'm putting all of them down and picking up a new one. Like, I have so many books that I'm currently reading, which, if we've learned anything this year with Patricia McKillip, it's the book's fault, not mine. My slumps are usually because I'm reading books that just aren't doing it for me. If I'm reading 10 books at a time, that means that all of them lost me at some point and I wanted something else to read. So I will go through my stack and actually like put aside the stuff that I'm really not interested in reading, because I feel like it's depressing me even more to look at such a large stack of books that I'm currently reading. So I'm not including them in this video because I think that would be genuinely embarrassing how many books I'm currently reading. But I will go through that stack after the video and try and not beat on myself too much, because a lot of these that I just spoke about, I do actually want to get to. So that is it for the video. I will see you next time. I hope this was way better, lighting wise, frame wise, quality wise, because it's supposed to be. Now I have a really, really good, tall, stable tripod. It should be way easier to do stuff. So I do apologize again for the last video, but I really wanted to make it anyway. So I will see you in the next video.